All right, buckle up, everybody. We're diving deep today into alien interviews.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys sent in a bunch of stuff about this, and I gotta say, I'm pretty intrigued.
Yeah.
There's this Chinese YouTube video, right? And it breaks down this book called Alien Interview, written by a guy named Lawrence Spencer.
Okay.
But get this, the whole thing is based on this nurse's story. She claims she actually talked to an alien after the Roswell crash.
Roswell, huh? That's a classic.
Right. I mean, that's like UFO ground zero. Come on, who isn't fascinated by Roswell?
It's definitely captivating. What's really interesting here is that we're not just talking about fuzzy photos or shaky videos this time. We're talking about going inside the mind of an alien, like what they think about us, about humans, and our place in all of this.
Yeah, exactly. This
Yeah.
isn't about little green men anymore. It's about consciousness, it's about communication, and maybe even a whole new way of looking at reality itself.
Right.
So, this nurse, Matilda O'Donnell MacElroy, she says she communicated with a survivor of the Roswell crash way back in 1947. But hold on, her story didn't come out until 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, like 60 years later. Just adds this whole other layer of mystery, you know? She talked about these telepathic conversations, this deep connection that nobody else could make with the alien.
Really makes you wonder what they were saying, doesn't it?
Mhm.
And it makes you think twice about everything we think we know about Roswell. We always get hung up on the physical stuff, the debris, the conspiracy theories, but this brings in a whole new dimension. Like,
Yeah,
what if communication is possible even between totally different beings?
exactly. And this alien, they call him Errol. He's described as, well, unlike anything we've ever seen. Gray skin, a big head, thin limbs, and only 3 fingers and toes.
3 finger.
Yeah. And no ears, no nose, no mouth. I mean, how do you even begin to imagine how something like that experiences the world?
It's wild, isn't it? Like you're trying to picture something so different from us. It changes how we even define what life is. No familiar features, no senses like ours. Errol forces us to confront all our assumptions about intelligent life, to go beyond our limited human perspective.
Totally. Like looking in a mirror and seeing a completely alien reflection staring back makes you realize how much we don't know. And it gets even weirder. Errol didn't have organs, at least not how we think of them. They had this electronic network running through their body, something way beyond anything we can even imagine building.
That's mind-blowing. Imagine the technology involved. If beings like that exist, where does that leave us on the, cosmic development scale? Are we really alone in all of this, or are there civilizations out there so advanced we can't even comprehend them?
It's kind of scary and exciting at the same time, right? But here's where things take a turn, a really crazy turn. Errol says that Earth is actually a prison planet.
A prison planet.
Yeah.
Wow. That flips everything on its head. Suddenly, we're not just talking about aliens visiting. We're talking about the very meaning of human existence. Yeah. Freedom, purpose, even reality IS. All those get thrown out the window.
Right. And it all comes down to this concept of the ISBE, which is basically Errol's word for the soul, that eternal, non-physical part of us. They believe souls can't be created or destroyed. They just exist beyond time and space.
Yeah.
But instead of that being a good thing, it's the foundation for this whole cosmic prison system.
So we're trapped. Like not just physically, but in this endless cycle.
Yeah, it's this idea of a soul net that catches us when we die, wipes our memories clean, and then forces us back into new bodies here on Earth.
Yeah.
Imagine being reborn over and over, but never remembering your past lives. It's like a prison disguised as life itself.
Chilling, man.
Right. And so it's not just about physical bars, it's about being mentally and spiritually imprisoned too, stuck in this endless loop of birth, death, and forgetting, totally unaware of who we truly are or what's really controlling us.
And that whole memory wipe thing, that's key to making this work.
Right.
If we remembered our past lives, our true selves, we wouldn't be so easy to control. It'd be like trying to run a prison where all the inmates constantly remember they're supposed to be free.
Exactly. Makes you wonder, what would our world be like if we could tap into those lost memories? Would we be more compassionate, more connected to something bigger than ourselves? Or would it be total chaos?
I don't know. Scary to think about.
Right. And to make this whole SoulNet thing even more foolproof, Errol says they implant 2 specific beliefs in every soul. This longing for light and this need to stay on Earth. It's like manipulation on a cosmic scale, making souls willingly walk into the trap when they die.
Oh, wow. Like those near-death experiences people talk about, the bright light.
You mean it's not heaven, it's the SoulNet.
That's what Errol's saying.
Yeah.
Pretty bleak, huh? Makes you question everything you thought you knew about the afterlife.
This is heavy stuff. So we're all these powerful eternal souls, but we're stuck in this system designed to keep us in the dark and under control. It's like we're living in some kind of cosmic Truman show, totally oblivious to the fact that our reality is completely fabricated.
That's a lot to take in,
Yeah,
a lot to process, and yet kind of makes sense in a weird way.
right. But here's a glimmer of hope. Errol says this whole prison system is getting weaker, that the veil of memory suppression is starting to fray.
So there's a chance we can break out, we can reclaim who we really are.
Maybe. Errol thinks so. They connect this weakening to all those times in history when humanity made stunning progress, huge leaps in thinking, art movements, scientific breakthroughs. Like, maybe those aren't just random events, but signs of our true selves breaking through the prison walls.
So all those moments of genius and creativity, those could be glimpses of our real potential bursting through the limitations they've put on us.
Exactly. Okay, I need a minute to digest all of this. We went from alien interviews to cosmic prisons, internal souls, and now a possible mass awakening. This is intense.
Definitely a lot to unpack. But remember, we're just looking at one account here. It's up to each of us to look at the evidence, think about what it all means, and come to our own conclusions. So Errol's telling us there's this whole complex universe out there, right? Civilizations clashing, souls getting locked up, and reality itself is like totally up for debate.
Okay, back up for a sec. Back to those warring galactic empires. What makes Earth this, like, cosmic dumping ground for souls? I mean, it can't just be because we have bad winters right now.
Well, according to Errol, our planet's biosphere,
Yeah.
it plays a big part. Earth is teeming with life, constantly changing, just this crazy mix of energy. So I think this makes it a perfect spot to contain and suppress powerful, rebellious souls.
So it's not just about keeping us locked up physically, but also keeping our souls, like, off-kilter, unable to reach their full potential.
Yeah, exactly. A constantly shifting, unpredictable environment can be a very effective way to, distract and disempower. And Errol claims that, like, 400,000 years ago, the old empires started shipping their worst criminals to Earth, basically using it as a dumping ground for anyone they thought was too dangerous or disruptive.
400,000 years, that's a long time. So who are these early inmates, the ones who got a one-way ticket to planet Earth?
Errol doesn't give us specific names or anything, but they describe them as beings who committed, like, cosmic treason. Think about individuals who challenged the old empire's authority, maybe even tapped into forbidden knowledge or powers.
So Earth has been this intergalactic supermax prison for, like, forever. And then the Domain showed up and saw a chance to weaken their enemy by freeing those imprisoned souls, right?
That's the gist of it. The Domain saw the old empire's prison system as, cruel and a waste of potential. They believed that even those who'd messed up, even criminals, could be rehabilitated, maybe even become allies in their fight against the old empire.
But they couldn't completely disable the SoulNet, even with all their advanced tech.
It seems that way. Errol describes it as being, like, woven into Earth itself, too risky for even the Domain to mess with. It's almost like Earth became this cosmic no man's land.
Okay, so fast forward to Roswell. Was Errol's crash part of this whole Domain old empire conflict? Like, were they caught in the crossfire?
Errol was on a mission, they say, to investigate Earth's nuclear capabilities. All the radiation from the atomic bombs, it was causing concern in the Domain. Remember, they still think of Earth as theirs, even if they can't totally control it.
Right, right. And what about that lightning strike that took down Errol's ship? Just bad luck, or something more deliberate? Maybe sabotage?
Errol doesn't mention anything about sabotage, but they do talk about a safety system that automatically disconnects their soul from the ship's controls if there's an emergency. Basically, an ejection seat for the spirit, making sure the pilot's essence survives even if the ship is destroyed.
Wait, so Errol's death was intentional. They knew they could just, like, pop back to the Domain and leave their body behind. No wonder the military doctors were so confused. That changes how we think about death, doesn't it?
It definitely does. Makes you wonder, how can we even define death when we're talking about beings who can separate their consciousness from their physical form? What does it mean to die if your essence can just go back home, leaving the body behind?
Okay, so if Errol could just slip back to the Domain, why risk telling Nurse MacElroy all this stuff? Why spill the beans about the SoulNet and the prison system? What was the point?
That's where Errol's motivations get a little fuzzy. They say they felt something familiar in Nurse MacElroy, some kind of connection, like recognizing a kindred spirit.
So they took a chance, hoping to connect, to share what they knew. Maybe even spark some rebellion against this system that's trapping them both.
Could be. Maybe Errol saw a chance to wake up a fellow prisoner, to share the truth about their shared situation. It's like a little flicker of hope in a pretty dark story.
Man, this keeps getting more and more interesting. We've got this cosmic prison, empires at war, a soul net keeping us stuck in this reincarnation loop, and now maybe a hint of rebellion brewing.
It's a lot to take in, that's for sure. Errol's revelations have some seriously big implications. They make us think about everything from the nature of consciousness to, like, the whole point of human existence.
Okay, so let's dive into that. If we're basically imprisoned souls, where does free will come in? Are we just puppets dancing to the tune of this cosmic prison system? So if Errol's right and we're all these souls stuck in this cosmic prison, does that mean we even have free will? Or are we just playing out someone else's script?
Tough question. It's not a simple yes or no, according to Errol. The system might be trying to limit us, but it doesn't mean it's perfect. Remember those cracks in the veil we talked about? Those times when the soul net seems to weaken? Maybe those are signs of our true nature, like trying to break through.
You mean like those bursts of genius, the creative leaps, the times when humanity makes a huge jump forward? Maybe those aren't just random. Maybe they're glimpses of who we really are, of what we could do if we weren't trapped in the system.
Exactly. It makes you think about human potential in a whole new way. Maybe free will isn't about the choices we make here and now, but about remembering who we really are, connecting with that eternal, limitless part of ourselves, the ISBE.
Okay, so it's not just about what we achieve in this life, but about the journey of like self-discovery, breaking out of the prison bit by bit and reclaiming those lost memories and abilities.
Each lifetime could be a step in that process, a chance to break free from all the limitations we've been told to accept.
So if we're these powerful eternal souls stuck in this cycle of reincarnation, what's the ultimate goal? Is there even a way to truly escape?
Errol doesn't give us a map or anything, but they do say knowledge is key. The more we remember about who we really are and how the soul net works, the better chance we have of, transcending it.
It's like waking up in the Matrix, right? Becoming aware of the system. But how do we do that when our memories get wiped every time we die? Feels like the deck's stacked against us.
Well, Errol says those memory wipes aren't foolproof. Some people do remember bits and pieces from past lives, or they have experiences that point to something beyond this physical reality. And as the domain's influence grows, as the soul net weakens, those memories might become even clearer.
So what can we do to speed things up? What are the keys to unlocking those hidden memories and reaching our full potential?
No easy answers there, but Errol suggests trying things that expand our consciousness, that help us connect with our intuition. Things like meditation, creative expression, being out in nature, even questioning everything we've been told about ourselves. Every step towards self-awareness is a step closer to freedom.
I'm starting to feel less like a prisoner and more like a detective, searching for clues to my true identity. And the evidence is everywhere if you know where to look.
That's it. It's about listening to that inner voice, trusting your gut, and connecting with others who are on the same journey. Errol reminds us that we're not alone in this. There are billions of souls here, all striving for the same things. Freedom, remembering who they are, and expressing their true selves.
Man, we started out talking about alien interviews, and we ended up rethinking reality itself. What a trip.
It's definitely mind-blowing. Errol's story, whether you believe it or not, pushes us to question everything, to explore the limits of what we think we know, and to keep searching for the truth.
Well said. So, to all you deep divers out there, next time you look at the stars, remember, you're not just a body, you're a soul, a spark of consciousness with limitless potential. The prison walls might be high, but the key to freedom is inside you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The journey might be tough, and there'll be challenges along the way, but the possibility of breaking free, that's what keeps us going.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep reaching for those stars.